right, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And yeah, pretty much I wanted to do a response. I came across this video. Brother sent it to me a couple of days ago, dealing with I may be mistaken, but I think the group was WFI, and they basically got arrested. Was it Rhode Island? I think that was the where that camp was, and they got arrested. You know, there's a video out on there. I forget the channel, the brother's channel whose video I was watching, but I know that the elder Menace also just did a video on it. And you know, when you watch the video, through the Spirit, just wanted to say a few words on it. I'll quote precepts as they come to mind. But as you watch the video, you know, at least as I was watching the video, the thought that came to mind, which is why I titled the lesson what I did, is there's a difference between teaching and being a menace. Okay, the Lord, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, did not send us out there to go and be menaces to society in their name. Okay, the Lord did not send us out there to go and be a menace to society, and just because you're shouting the name of the Lord or you're quoting precepts, you know, that doesn't make you a qualified teacher. And that's what we're seeing a lot of, especially in these days, in these last days. There are a lot of individuals coming after their own lust, okay, doing what's right in their eyes, and ultimately keeping up behavior like that. Guess what? The Lord can have it to where you end up in a situation where the Lord casts judgment upon you. Okay, you go and mess with some centurions. You know, they come and you're not trying to cooperate and so on and so forth. And guess what happens? You get blown away. Now you on the news. Okay, because the word of the Lord is a very important and a very serious thing. You know, to do the work of the Lord is a very serious thing. You know, it's not something that you can just go out there and do a mediocre job of it, okay? Or go out there and be a menace. You know, you're basically going out there doing and saying whatever it is you want to do and say, okay? That's not, you know, that's not, right. It's lock here. That's not that's not why the Lord set us up, okay? And as you can see and hear in the video, you know, you got these dudes out here yelling at, you know, this and that, and you there, like, bro. There's a message, right? Pursuant to Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, right? There's a message. The Lord said, eat the whole roll and go and teach the house of Israel. Okay, so when we're out there, we're actually supposed to be going into the scriptures, into the precepts of the book, and sticking to the main message, right? The main doctrine of the Bible. Why are we out there? You know, as a matter of fact, that's something that a lot of Israelites probably cannot answer. If you actually, because when somebody was to come up to you and say, okay, well, why are you out here? What's all this about? You know, you're supposed to have an answer for that. You're supposed to be able to give them an answer, as the scriptures say, being studied and learned and knowing how you ought to answer every man. Because we're not out there just to be out there. The Lord didn't say go out there and just do whatever you want. So long as you got a garment on or a t-shirt with fringes on, and you got a Bible in your hands, you're good. That's not what the Lord set us up to do. And that's not the orders that he gave us. He gave us the commandment to go and to feed his sheep and to feed his lambs. And he also said that he would set up pastors that would feed his sheep with knowledge and wisdom and understanding from the Holy Scriptures, from the Holy Bible. Because remember that the majority of our people are in a lost state. They've been deceived for so long. As a matter of fact, the whole world has been deceived for so long. So when we go out there, we're to bring out the truth from the Bible. You know, we're supposed to, pursuant to 2 Corinthians, I think is 10 and 4. We're supposed to cast down the strongholds, okay, using the word of the Lord, which is spiritual, not going off of our own vain opinion, because that's really where the altercation comes from. You know, when a lot of people that don't agree with the Bible, when they actually come out and you start just really going into scriptures, breaking them down pulling precepts that deal with whatever you're talking about, most of the time what will happen is they'll just leave. You know, they'll just bounce because they're like, all right, I don't want to hear this. I can't argue with those words. You know, all you're doing is reading precepts and breaking it down. But when you actually get dragged into you know, a pointless, for example, a pointless back and forth with words, that's what rouses up them demons. So if you notice, when people come around, okay, and they're coming around and they got demons on them and they're coming around, the kind of people that stick around, or the reason why they stick around, is when they're able to drag you out of your element. And now you get into a shouting match with them, or you getting into a back and forth with them, and it's getting, you know, heated. That's what keeps them over there. They'll keep pacing back and forth. They'll say a few words, they'll walk away, then they'll walk right back and come say a few more words because you're still saying a few more words. That's what they want. That's what keeps them there. But if the second they start their shit, you tell them, look, have a nice day. Go down the street. If they don't want to do that, you keep teaching as though they're not there. Or if they come up, like I said, with the vibration of having demons on them, and you start going into the scriptures, they're going to eventually leave. Okay? Because the word of the Lord is powerful. It's going to start to cut them deeper than the flesh. And eventually they're going to say, all right, whatever, I'm out of here. Okay? Because now you're bringing out the raid. So the roaches got to flee. They get hit with that and they can't stand it no more. And they may act however they act, but inwardly it's going to be affecting them, whether they realize it or not. So that's why it's very important when we're out there teaching. When you're teaching, right? If you went to class, because we've all been to some form of some school or something, or even if not school, you've learned something from somewhere. When you are being taught, at the end of the day, what do teachers teach? They teach lessons, right? They teach you a lesson. There's something that's being taught. If you are sitting in a classroom and the professor is just talking about the most random thing out there, and you're not learning anything, then there's no point in being there. You're not being taught. Somebody's just talking to you. They're not actually teaching you. There's a format to teaching. The point of teaching is to get a message or a lesson across to whoever it is that you're teaching. You want them to understand something that you know at the end of your conversation. That's why that's why you teach. You want them to understand something at the end of your conversation. So when we're out there, the Lord sent us out there to go and teach the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? And to go and feed them. There's a reason, there is a point, there is a message, something that they need to learn from us. And that's the Holy Bible. So if you're going out there and you're seeing that, look, there ain't no point in even engaging with such an individual, why go back and forth? Why even feed into that? Yelling and all that, bro. If the majority of the people that you're around don't even want you there, you yelling is just gonna add more fuel to the fire. If they don't want you around and you say, nah, that's my camp spot, I'm still gonna be here. All right, so then just do your own thing. Just teach. The majority of your viewers are coming from the camera anyway. So why not just focus on that, bring out the precepts, whatever lesson you're teaching, and teach that. People may not like you around, but what more can they really say? You're not, being a menace. You're not just screaming at people. You're not just yelling and making a bunch of noise for nothing. Look, when in the ancient world, right, you had Yahushua, the scriptures say that he had the voice of many waters, right? In the ancient world, in a scenario where you had a teacher, either at a synagogue or, there was a gathering or whatever it is, it made sense that whoever was speaking would speak very loudly, maybe even have to shout, because there was a crowd, there was an audience, there was a lot of people around there, right, that you wanted your voice to get to so they could actually hear you. You weren't just shouting just because you felt like shouting. When you raise your voice, okay, and I'm not talking about somebody got you pissed off or whatever. When you raise your voice, or you're talking to somebody and they're like, wait, what? What'd you say? I can't hear you. Typically, that's when you start to raise your voice. Or when somebody is very, very far away from you, that's when you start to speak loudly. Or if you are in front of like a room or a crowd of people, you lift up your voice because you want everybody in there to hear you, right? So there's a reason why you're doing it. If there's one person standing in front of you in close proximity, why are you yelling? they can hear you clearly. The camera, we're in 2023, there's some pretty advanced cameras that pick up audio very well. Why do you need to yell? Okay? There's no need to be yelling out there, making, just looking like a whole menace. That's exact, because personally, when I watched the video, I got annoyed. I'm like, yo. And I started to think, like, if I'm getting annoyed, how much more for the Lord? Like, he's looking like, bro, what is this? But it's very interesting how the Lord asks us to do something. I mean, if you really think about it, it's not complicated. The requirements of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai concerning being a teacher is really not complicated. It's very simple and straightforward. And in fact, it may be because it's so simple that a lot of people can't just get it right, because it's too simple for them. It's like telling a child, sit here and wait for me. Look, it would have been better if you said, yo, go run a mile around this block and then come back, and then do 10 jumping jacks and then 10 push-ups and then come and sit down. You have a better chance of your child doing that than you telling them, especially if they're a youngin', telling them, sit down here and wait for me. It's funny, I'm always giving analogies about children, right? I promise I don't got kids, but the point is, you tell that child sit there specifically and you leave? Oh, forget about it. Forget about it. That's the hardest thing that they're going to, because even a bug, let a butterfly pass by and they're already 10 blocks away chasing that butterfly. Because you asked them to do what? To sit down. That's it. One of the most simple instructions, sit right here and wait for me. It's too much. You know why? Because it's too simple. It's too simple. No. I need more. You need to keep my mind occupied. I can't do just this simplicity. So it's actually pretty interesting that the Lord says, go out, learn the scriptures, go out there and teach. He comes back and you're doing everything but. We got brew wrestling sessions, brew spelling bees. and the worst part about it is, you could do all this, put your attention and your energy into all this, and when it comes to the actual teaching, that's out the window. That part, you getting an F- in that, but you getting an A++ in everything else. So the simple things the Lord asks you to do, you can't do that. If he asks you to do something complicated, it's too much. If he asks you to do something simple, you can't do it. So what can you do? All right, but the whole point of this lesson is, there's a difference when you're out there between teaching and being a menace. The Lord didn't send us out there to be a menace. He sent us out there to learn the scriptures and to go and teach. If the people around you don't want to hear it, you got the camera, you got the internet. The people there, the audience on there, they'll hear it. The internet will carry this word to whoever needs to hear it. Okay, and they're gonna hear it. But if you're on camera and the only things you're spewing is just unedifying, chatter, then even if people did hear it, what are they gonna learn? What would be the point of them actually hearing it? What are they gonna get from it? Laughter? We're not out there to be comedians and make you laugh. You want to laugh, go and watch Dave Chappelle or somebody. We're here to teach you so you can learn. So you can, Lord willing, as the scriptures say, be made wise unto salvation. Because guess what? This ain't I'm learning this so I can pass my final exam and then pass the class or whatever. No, this is, I'm learning this so that Lord willing, I can have a chance of salvation. Because if I fail this test, I'm failing at life. And if you fail at life, well, what does that equal? Death. And that's going to be the grade that a lot of these individuals get. Okay? Because you have a lot of terrible so-called teachers out there that are not actually teachers. But Jake loves it so. All right, Isaiah the 30th chapter. They love that. they don't want to actually learn. They don't want to hear that. You do videos that go into actual Jake happen to actually learn something that's going to be beneficial to them. They don't want to hear that. Okay? They want to hear everything else but. So the whole point is, when you're dealing with the word of the Lord, the name of the Lord, anything that's related to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, you got to do it correctly. Because if not, the Lord will make a public example out of you. And that and through the Spirit, that might just happen to some of these individuals out here. You go out there and you want to be a tough guy. You don't want to cooperate. You just want to do what you want to do. The Lord is going to show you what happens when you want to go out there and be a menace to society. All right, the Lord is going to show you what happens. Anyway, with that, I'm going to end it here. Just wanted to say a few words on that. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. And in closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Recha Kodash. And until next time, Shalom. Let me just, real quick, get up in this spot real quick. Shalom.